Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in this video I am going to share with you how much money I spent while I was on my Contikis and how much money I think you should save for them. So if you are new to my channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join our little fam. I upload new videos every single week, and make sure you give me a thumbs up if you do enjoy this video because it really helps me out, and I can only give you so much information in these videos. So if you want some more little tips and tricks straight to your inbox, don't forget to sign up to my email list. You can find a link to that down below. So I basically have had a lot of questions from people who are booking Contikis and things like that about how much money they should save for it. So I have shared a complete breakdown of how much money I spent while I was traveling in Europe for 4 months and when I was in Southeast Asia for 6 weeks. So make sure you go and check those videos out if you are traveling to any of those places, or if you are just doing a Contiki, then I will tell you how much money I spent. So the first thing with Contiki you have to realize is it is going to be expensive. You are paying for the experience. You just can't get anything like Contiki anywhere else. You have to realize it's going to cost you more money than if you were to travel on your own. You wouldn't get all those experiences and sort of that peace of mind of knowing that everything is sorted out for you if you weren't doing a Contiki and you were just traveling on your own. I personally think it's completely worth it. I have done 2 Contikis now and I honestly had the best time of my life on them, and I would go back and do 100 more. I definitely think it's worth it. The first little thing I think you should definitely take note of is the me time optionals. For my Europe Contiki, we had a lot of me time optionals and I didn't quite realize how expensive they were going to be. I didn't even incorporate it into my budget. I did not even give it a second thought, and I don't know why. That actually ended up costing me 800 euros in total because I did all of the me time optionals, and so that was something I definitely did not budget for. Make sure before you're going on your Contiki tour and you are looking at your budget, go and have a look at the me time optionals. I'm pretty sure when they send you out your packs, they will have all of the options and all of the prices so that you can have a look at those and consider which ones you want to do. And then another thing you need to consider is how many meals are included and how many meals you will need to pay for. In my Europe one, we had a lot of meals included. We had all these breakfasts and quite a few dinners and things like that, whereas in my Southeast Asia one, we only had breakfasts included, and I don't think there were any lunches or dinners included. They were all optional, or you just went and did your own thing. So yeah, that is something to consider, how much extra money you will need to include for food and things like that. And then the last thing to consider is partying and going out. Obviously, Contiki tours are known for being really big party tours and you go out majority of the night. Now, not everybody goes out. You don't feel like you have to. It's just something that's generally organized for every night, and it's just an optional thing if you want to do it or not. So make sure you're incorporating money for alcohol, especially in Europe because it's quite expensive, whereas in Southeast Asia it's oh my god, it's so cheap. It's literally like $2 for any drink you want, like $2 US. It's like insanely cheap. So yeah, that's just something else to keep in mind depending on how much you want to be partying and going out. So for my Europe tour, obviously I did all of those me time optionals like I explained at the start. I went out like a fair bit, I'm gonna say. So I would have spent like a decent amount of money on alcohol, I guess. I'm like a small girl, so like keep that in mind. I don't drink like a crazy amount because I'd probably be on the floor dead. So yes. In total for my Europe time, I spent 106 Australian dollars per day. So that's including, I did all of the me time optionals and I went out majority of the nights, and then just all of the extra food and things like that we had to pay for. I really wasn't conscious about price or anything like that. We just basically ate whatever was convenient. So yeah, that's just something to keep in mind. If you don't go out as much, or you're a bit more conscious of how much money you're spending on food, you can probably lessen that down, and if you don't want to do all of the me time optionals. Then in my Southeast Asia tour, I spent 80 Australian dollars per day, and I know that seems like a lot for Asia, but that's kind of the thing you get with Contiki tours. I mean, I went out pretty much every single day on that Contiki, so we spent a fair bit of money on alcohol even though it was cheap. We went out like a ridiculous amount. And also with the food, because there was such a big group of us, we could only really go to specific restaurants that were a little bit more pricey, obviously, to be able to accommodate all of us. So yeah, that is kind of why I spent a little bit more money, because food was definitely more expensive and we had almost no breakfast or lunch included, so I had to buy all of those. So just a little thing to mention, if any of you guys are wondering, in Europe I did the Contiki World Tour, and then in Asia I did the Laos and Cambodia Uncovered. So I hope this video helped you out if you are planning or you are going onto a Contiki tour and you want to know how much money to save. If you have any other questions that I haven't answered in this video, feel free to leave a comment below or send me a message on Instagram. I will always reply to you guys. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will speak to you on my next video. Bye!